I started to coach the residents from the rehab that I just done, Phoenix.
Yeah, so I'd like to touch on that actually. So I've actually worked with Mind Body Connect. So I'll put their link in the description. So please go and check them out, show them some support. I've done some work with Padda. So just tell us a little bit about what you do there.
Right, okay, Mind Body and Connect, it was set up for people in addiction and recovery. But as we all know, addiction's a mental health issue. So I jumped on board with that with Chris, got into the gym scene, got the network of friends, positive vibes. Then Chris asked me if I'd like to come along and do some lectures for him. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Okay. I know it was about a therapeutic community. What Phoenix Futures is what it's based on, how it's run. There's quite a few all around the world. So then I become an associate lecturer. He said, you're an associate lecturer now, man. You work for Sheffield University. I'm like, cool, man. So come on, man. It's all good, innit? So I'm like, yeah, okay. So then I started doing a bit of shadow coaching for MBC, working with addicts, and then Chris suggested that I get qualified and actually get fucking paid for doing it. So I was like, right, yeah, okay then. And this is like, 3 years ago? Is it? Something like that. So now I work with people in addiction, in recovery, in the early stages of addiction. And again, it's recovery through exercise, but the whole idea of it is, obviously there's people, we do separate little things with mental health issues, people who've been trafficked, sex trafficked over here. We've got yoga going on, got quite a few things going on. But what I do is, if put it this way, if addicts have had such a fucking crazy, chaotic life, they're very fucking on it, they're very astute, and they'll read you like a book within fucking 20 minutes. They're all over you, man. Because don't forget, all they want to do is either rip you off, manipulate you, or are you a threat, or should I take the piss, or da. So we're clever people. Got to be. On the streets, got to fucking survive. So I found that, for some reason, I was really good at it. And then it wasn't just I don't know everything about instructing and coaching and everything. There's always so much to learn, but I just found that I had a proper rapport with the guys in addiction and vice versa. And then that just helped me a lot to where I've got with it now. Because, for one, I'm not read out from a book. I've fucking relapsed. I've come back 20 years because, a lot of people, different ages, different stages of their addiction, different upbringings, everything, wide range in addiction and mental health. And I've actually, lapsed, and I've had every opportunity to get back on my feet, and I've seemed to have fucked it up. But that's kind of irrelevant. What's relevant is you don't fucking give up, because, a lot of people, when they do relapse, they think, fuck me, I can't even do this, you know what I mean? I've got this guy working for me, him helping me, I've got a phone call there, everyone will bend over backwards for me. I can't do it. So what I try to say is, it's okay not... Do you know what I mean? You cannot rush these fucking things. You cannot just think, coming off the alcohol or the booze or whatever, the spice, the crack, whatever your little fucking fancy is, and then be okay. It's onwards. It's forever, this. It's hard, but it's not easy at all, really. It's very hard. But if you can put things in the right places to equal out them difficult times, it makes that a lot easier. So for instance, 6 months into recovery, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years. I'm not saying 3-4 years, hey man, it's getting quite easy, this. Because it never is. You've got triggers fucking everywhere. Man, these people who sell alcohol, your Budweisers, your Stellas, man, play psychologists fucking billions of pounds to sell that to you, man. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to, you know, it's on every corner shop. It's just everywhere. Plus, you've got your fucking mental health issues to deal with. Never mind, you know, every time you turn on a TV or every time you see a dude or look on a corner of a street. You know what I mean? So, but what I'm all about is like, you know, if you persevere, you will get there in the end. It's hard work, but, and shall I say, if you combine that with your physical fitness as well, which will benefit your mental health, and also the network of friends that you'll get out with it, it's all little steps. It might sound a bit of a cliche, but it's all little steps to where you're going to be. And finally, you might be, what it's all about, it's not the addiction, it's not the substance, it's not knowing what makes you doing it, it's having the fucking tools to deal with it. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
You can you can be a genius. You know, I know I'm in addiction, I know my issues, I know I do this. But if you don't use the tools, if you don't get coping mechanisms to deal with it, it's a simple one. You're feeling down, man. Give Paddy a call, let's go to the gym, or look forward to it. You can't get out of bed. And sometimes it's hard, you know. For me, just like, sometimes it's like, fucking hell, really, I'm on a really downer and a low and I just don't want to get up. Appetite goes, everything. I think guys will know with depression, you know, you have your dark times, but you know, you have to work, you have to get out of that bed, you have to have a wash, you have to get out, and when you do make that effort and you make it to the gym, 100% guaranteed you're going to feel better about yourself. So then you're feeling, you've got that night to feel a bit good about yourself. So then you can come the next day. So when you wake up in the morning thinking, man, I'm so low, I'm so down, and you come to the gym. We're there, as you'll know. I know we only put on the sessions, on weekly sessions, but I've took up the role of, guys, here's my number, man. Doesn't matter when, where, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever, you're drinking, you're using, ring me, man. It doesn't really matter. And it's not all about going to the gym and getting fit, which is stupidly beneficial. You know, it's having that support after someone who will get you, say, it's cool, man, it's all right, it's cool. But thing is, man, I can't work with you if you're not going to help yourself. So I'm here. So what do you know is going to make you better? Or, hey, man, do you remember this time you felt like this before? We did this, not necessarily go to the gym, or we did this. Hey, man, let's just meet for a coffee. And that, MBC, is recovery through exercise, working with people with barriers, mental health issues. But it's not just that. It's the full package of it. And I think I was just saying to Chris earlier, I remember, you know, I like to talk, but there is a reason I like to talk when I'm training, because I remember when I first came, because all my low self-esteem, my total hatred for myself, no respect for myself. I remember when I first started, and when there was this lady, I was saying to you before, that I was doing yoga, and I just did it just to get out of the house. This is when I was in treatment the second time. But one time she came up to me, and I thought, oh, fuck me, I could get this over and done with, and And then she came up to me, and she just said, hey, man, I said, hey, well done, I've been watching you, good effort. And it just made my full session. Just that, kind of, if you like, fucking was the start of, like, shit, cool, man. Got a bit of recognition, a bit of attention, if you like, and that's what I'd like to think I do now. My work colleagues like give me a bit of ribbing for it or whatever, but you know, if for instance someone's doing a workout, everyone who I work with, I check out their body language, their eye contact with them, their mannerisms, how they're working, how they're feeling. I check with them when they come in, I check with them in between, just check in with them, everything okay? And most definitely check with them after. So it's not all about just being a PT, personal instructor, strength and conditioning. It's knowing them clients. And I think because I been in that position and, you know, kind of can totally get where they're at, even from day to fucking day, how they can be up, down, for even with it in a minute, man. I can get it and I can recognise it and I can do something about it. So once that's put into practice, they know when they come back, hey man, what a cool atmosphere. It's all right. This is good. This is exactly what I want. I'm getting fucking fit. And with people who totally fucking get me, don't have to feel insecure with them or embarrassed or da-da-da, you know, it's cool. And that makes them come back again. And then that makes them talk even more. So I'll get a phone call and say, hey, do you know, when you said, I want to take you up on that offer, can we have a coffee tomorrow? And but in the background, I'm like, yes, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like every relationship moves on from there. And that's what it's like on individual person. So it's like we have Phoenix Futures, Storff, Priory, Ad Action, Fitzwilliams, the sex traffic, each individual person, you know, concentrate on them as in a group, but make sure you know every single one of them and you can read them and you've always got time for them. I saw basically the charity, don't think anyone else does it. This is Chris's brainchild. I'm really fortunate he's asked me to come on board. And it's kind of just poking its head over water now. And a lot of people are saying, hey, can we have some of you? So we're getting, and what the whole idea is, if they come to a class with me, because of the gym, quite fortunate, we know the guy, basically give us the gym. What I'll do is say, you come with me for 10 sessions and I'll give you a free gym pass to this gym and I'll write you a program out. Once you've got that done, I'll guide you and advise you and send you in the right direction if you want to get your qualifications in gym instructors, PT, whatever you want to do. And then you come back in full circle and hopefully, dudes, you'll be here doing my job when I can go elsewhere and do it. So that's the aim of MBC.
From what I've noticed, the obviously you working with Paul, so Paul Smith, he's obviously quite a well-known athlete, to be honest. Junior World's Strongest Man, England's Strongest Man, World's Strongest Man competitor.
Hammer, world record, baby,
so obviously, I think from what I've seen in the sessions, obviously you mentioned sort of the philosophical congruence of you understanding the group, you're able to apply that, and obviously Paul's underpinning knowledge of actual exercise itself, and combination of them two, it's formed like a really like effective thing. Like you said, there's not many other organisations doing anything like it, really.
And it's, I think it's we're both learning off each other. So I'm getting Paul's just gives me these little tips about, you know, and then Paul's understanding how, and I think Paul will agree, and he freely admits it. Wow, you know, it's just, you know, I had such a stereotypical fucking idea of a drug addict or someone with a mental health issue. So he's coming into our world now and seeing, hey, you know, I fucking call that wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's learning off me, he'll ask advice off me, kind of, you know, this person's like this, and I will go to him on the physical, educational side of things. And I don't mind saying we're a fucking kick-ass team, aren't we?
Yeah.
We work well, don't we?
Yeah, I've seen it myself. Personally vouch for that.
They're like, oh man, Paul, do you know what I mean? So, and then, we're a good team and it works, and yeah.
And obviously it's been beneficial for you, obviously, as well, talking about your mental health and how you first came into that. And obviously it sounds like from there you've grown from that.
I've learned as well that it can make people feel really uncomfortable if you're open and if you're honest. You know, you get, how's your day been? You all right? Ask me how my day been. I won't bore you, but I'll say, hey man, it's not too good, but you know, hey, shit happens. How are you, man? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh fucking hell, that's a bit heavy. Is it fuck heavy? Don't ask me then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes that can freak people out, but on the good side of it, it's like, fucking how refreshing is that, man?
You know I think that's why I've got on so well with you. So obviously, like I say, often when you just ring people up and that's, you're all right, yeah, I'm fine, but realistically, you don't say anything. But I notice with you, you do that with me, you'd open up to me, and then it allows me to open up to you then. And
that is a conscious thing as well, to say, hey man, look,
And I think that's why you work so well with the people that you do, obviously.
Yeah. I have terrible days, I have good days, I have bad days. I'm so insecure at times, so paranoid. And they're like, this guy's he's working here, he's with Paul, and this guy's, told me, he's having a bit of a dark time at the moment, so it makes them feel comfortable to say, we're even out going there just to pull on one side and say, my anxiety is crazy today, man. Can I, it's like, yeah, it's cool. You won't get that in any other fucking gym. And also, I remember one thing that Sheffield down at Alham University, so you've got all the ice hockey guys in there, got rugby union and fucking all, unks and butch, and, big dudes and proper men and don't cry and everything. And do you remember when I put that fucking feelings board up? Anyway, it's like, how are you feeling out of 10? So at the top, fan dabby dorsey, fantastic, taking the piss, and then loads down, like, I'd better days and da-da-da and everything. And then, before I knew it, I'd like, for a laugh, get the some of the guys who work there, because we know them, like some of the instructors, say, come on, Baz, how you feeling, man, tell us. And they'd go, 7. And we're like, cool. And before I knew it, these rugby guys and all these big hench guys were like, hey, put a 3 on today. Fucking had a bit of a bad night. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's okay, it's cool. They didn't put a 3 on, but it was like saying, I feel about 3 today. I remember telling Chris that, and Chris was like, how fucking brilliant is that? I went, yeah, no, it was only a bit of a joke at first. So, yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's refreshing, isn't it? And then someone you can like just be open with and honest with, and no one can judge you, and sort of, totally you can relate to.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't it?
I think
it works. It's win-win, isn't it? And again, that's what we try to do with MBC.
Well, I think you provide that sort of practical example, what a lot of people need as well. Obviously, the service users coming through the recovery process, obviously seeing you getting to where you are, like coaching the sessions you actually
fucking
want.
up and going, what, yeah.
And you obviously coaching the sessions what you once attended. Obviously, I think it provides that.
And understanding them and getting them, because, it's hard enough to walk into a gym if you haven't got fucking anxiety. These guys are brave, man, because when you're in recovery, when you had that lifestyle, you've been out, and you feel as though you've got addict tattooed on your forehead, and everyone's got you, everyone's on you, da-da-da. They haven't, but that's what you feel. So to walk into a gym, you're not physically fit. You just, for even them to come in, man.
I was going to say, I noticed with a lot of them, obviously, my perceptions of people in addiction were totally wrong before working with the organisation.
Yeah.
And I found, like, hearing some of the stories of these people, like, to be quite unimaginable. I couldn't imagine their circumstances. So the thought of them even thinking, I'm going to go and do some exercise, it seems like totally bizarre. And obviously,
yeah, and that again with MBC, it's not just come down to them. I'll kind of put a bit of footwork in. Say, hey man, I promise you, come down, please give me one chance. That's my favourite. One chance, dude. One chance. Come down, and if you don't like it, it's not your scene. And that's never ever worked. It's never been. No, it's not my scene. It's been like, wow, cool.
Yeah, it's really formed a community. Yeah. Like, everyone that's there, it's become its own.
I'm like, how good's this, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that obviously that gets passed on through the residents. And then what I found is when I first started doing it, it's the whole package. I was working out in the gym. Paul became my best friend. I was mixing my network of friends, were all positive people in the gym. I was lecturing at the university, and there was a little Starbucks, and guaranteed before I knew it, I was socialising, and I got a totally different lifestyle in like 12 months. And I'm hanging about with guys who, for one, they thought they'd never hang about with, and two, I thought, you never accept me into your lifestyle, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the full package of
MBC.
Spectrum. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a massive change of lifestyle, which we can't promote enough. And that's just with the addicts. And, I do a lot of work with mental health as well, don't you? And that's kind of I wouldn't say the addiction thing's not personal, but it is. But the mental health side of it is as well. So I kind of do, as you know, I put on sessions for free just to even get them out of, ring them, get out of bed, man.
Yeah.
Come down, it'll be okay. We've got some guys with some severe health problems, mental health problems, haven't we? And yeah, I can't relate to them as much as I can with the addicts, but I get when you're down. And I can imagine in 3 to 5 years' time, this is going to be nationwide. It's got to be. A lot of people want to see this. As you know, there's quite a lot of paperwork being done. Chris has done his PhD in it. This is going to go out there. Chris chucks it all over the place. And, the recovery in the mental health society, a lot of people are like, yeah, we know it makes you feel better when you go to gym. But we've got statistics and work written up now. Yeah, and data to say, just don't believe us. It's fucking on paper here, man. Do you know what I mean? So the only problem with us is, as you know, it's not about, I don't do it for the money. So quite a lot of it, I'll do it voluntarily, even though the money's being chucked at me, as you know, don't you? And I'm like, I don't want it, man. I'm okay. I don't need it all. I've just got enough, all right. So, but even so, we still need a little bit of funding. A little bit of help, nothing much, not thousands and thousands, just little bits for kits and and stuff, just little bits and bats, and maybe branch out into stuff with the mental health side of things. I don't know, let's get some fucking gardening done or something. It all comes into it. Just buy a fucking veg patch or an allotment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can take it anywhere with addiction, with mental health.
Yeah, I think, like you say, it's definitely something that's growing.
Yeah.
And, it's definitely having a massive impact on the communities of people that you're working with, and hopefully it does grow. And
it doesn't, let's have it right, it doesn't work for everyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
But if it is, you get one person, man, it's got to be worth it, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Save their lives.
So, Paddy, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I think that's all we've got time for today. Obviously, keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic work. I've seen that myself. It's quite exceptional, to be honest. Paddy's actually in the process of writing a book, like you mentioned.
Yep.
So please keep a lookout for that. Obviously, that's going to be in a lot more depth of like your story and stuff like that. But look forward to hearing from that for sure. But yeah, thank you, man.
Cool,
really
man.
appreciate it. It's been good.
Hugs.
Yeah.
Cheers, fella.
Oh, it was good.
Was it?